Well, his opponent in this 135-pound contest is Paddy Pimblett. He also is undefeated, 3-0. He's 18 years old, so still relatively young, representing the next generation gym in Liverpool.
He hails from Liverpool, England, also undefeated. Please welcome Paddy The Baddy Pimblett. Referee in charge is Rich Mitchell.
So our referee, Rich Mitchell, for the first of our professional contests here this evening. Patrick Pimblett in the black and red shorts, taking on Florian Callen in the white and black shorts. Touch of gloves gets us underway in this bantamweight contest. And a much more heavily muscled look for Florian Callen in the blue corner.
Obviously, yeah, he's a lot shorter too. You're talking about a taller guy at 5'10", with Paddy, and then dropping his weight down a lot lower. Florian's a lot more muscular. But then, of course, he's giving up a lot in reach.
Well, a couple of times he's tried that big front kick, surging forward again. Really trying to keep the range with those kicks. Takedown, though, for Florian Callen. We mentioned a lot of wrestlers out of London shoot fighters.
He had the position, but didn't want to engage.
Now, Paddy Pimblett does have... Oh,
wow.
Well, big overhand right as he surges in, looking for a takedown of his own. Trying to turn it into a hip throw is Florian Callen, but immediately trying to work to the back is Pimblett. Interesting scramble here.
Nice change off. Good work by Pimblett to use his legs. Nice job to come through, but Florian also very, very strong. A lot of spacing up.
Good front headlock series here for Callen, bearing a lot of weight down on his opponent. Wow.
Good use of the rules.
Yeah, Pimblett very aware his hand was on the floor and that there were illegal knees coming in.
Listen to me.
Florian Callen is going to be warned at the very minimum by
he was playing in and out.
Referee Rich Mitchell.
Understand? I'm not going to penalise you this time, but if it happens again, I will penalise you.
Good job by the ref, Rich. He did good work. He doesn't have to take a point away. He doesn't have to penalize him for that. But he let him know, look, I'm going to do it again next time. You got to watch out. He's doing this game.
What a fantastic scramble we were treated to there in that exchange. I was just going to say, as it occurred, that Pimblett has a win on his record by flying triangle. So some unorthodox techniques, perhaps, for the man from Liverpool.
Florian's got to do a much better job of stepping inside and using his short reach. He's got to get inside to get by that long reach of Pimblett. Right now he's just lunging in. He's in a very bad position if he wants to do that.
Florian Callen pressing forward, trying to secure himself up against the cage here. He's got a good right underhook. I'd like to see him lifted a little bit higher, perhaps.
It's going to be tough to lift it up on a guy like this because he's so much taller than he is. He's giving up 3 inches in height as well, so trying to get that armpit, give him a big, long reach.
Well, we've had knees, accidental knees to the head. We've now had an accidental knee to the groin.
Shush.
And Pimblett is not happy at all. Talking to the corner of Callen.
Groin shot.
It was accidental, however. So Pimblett will have up to 5 minutes to recover from the accidental low blow.
Understand.
And for the second time, Rich Mitchell forced to talk to Florian Callen.
Sure? You ready? Let's go.
Unsurprisingly, no touch of gloves now.
It's interesting now to see what's going to happen. Paddy's got distracted by talking to the corner. Is he come back and stay with his game, or is he going to get rattled and start doing a lot of missed techniques and opening up his game a little bit wider? It's going to allow Florian to get in.
Yeah, it certainly can change the complexion of a fight. Those accidental low blows. Very crisp punches from Pimblett, though. A lot of rotation on them. Tried the flying knee. Definitely the more open, big techniques coming from Pimblett, but Florian Callen once again pressing up against the cage. Oh,
headlock.
Yeah, tried for...
Gives up his back, now giving up his head.
Tried for the dropping throw, and let's see if Pimblett can cause a scramble here.
Very flexible, very strong. I can't tell if he has the arm on the far side now for a triangle. Lock his
No,
legs
I
up.
don't think he has a triangle. He's just got the grip around the head, but it can certainly cause your opponent some issues if they don't
Back of his head, mate.
bury their head to your body when they earn that side control. Well, is he going to look for an arm bar as he rolls out here?
Great flexibility here by Paddy. Staying in this position, not panicking, staying here nice and tight, looking for a way out.
Yeah, Callan happy to tie the head up. And there we go, he secures the Kesagatami, much more of a judo-based side control this though, with the grip around the head.
Easy to go ahead and push that arm down into his legs and trap with his arm, trap his arm with his legs. So he's in a good position. He's got to get, but Paddy's so flexible, he's got to start tying other parts of his body up to keep him from moving so much.
Do you see Callan even trying to progress or attack here? I mean,
No,
it looks to me
sitting.
like he's just stalling.
He is, he's just holding on at this point. He's just trying to keep position.
Work, Florian.
Well, Pimblett trying to work his way to the back again. Very tight grip from Callan though.
He's got to get his head free. Easiest way to do that is by extending your leg. Pull that leg across, it'll give you a gap underneath.
Into the last 15 seconds here.
Yeah, this is on you, Florian. Let's work, please.
Well, as we said, the referee, Rich Mitchell, asking the London shoot fighter to try and progress a bit.
Watch the back of his head there, Pad.
Again, though, no real progression or intent to strike or submit. First round comes to a close.
Ready, ready, let's go.
So Rich Mitchell gets us underway here in the second round. Patrick Pimblett in the black and red unleashes a kick on Florian Callan in the white and black. Josh Palmer, Frank Trigg calling the action.
Nice.
Yeah, lovely transition from the left hook, wasn't it?
Yeah, geez, stepped in right to it, knew exactly what he was doing, stepped through. And that's one of his favorite style. You can tell by the way he hits it. That's one of his favorite techniques. Nice job in a takedown, hunting it down, got his hands locked against the cage, he's going down. Florian's going to get down to the ground now. There's no way for him to stop from being taken down.
What a lovely sequence from Patrick Pimblett. The left hook, dropped for the takedown, hustled a bit, switched off to the double, and now he's just trying to keep Callan on the floor here.
Keep those elbows clean, Florian.
Immediately, Pimblett again hustling, staying in on this takedown attempt.
Good flexibility, his head's really, really firm. See how he's overhooked on those legs? He's got both legs caught up. He's got a figure four across the legs. There's no way now for Florian to be able to use his legs to get out, at least at this point. He's got to get one leg free first, which gives Paddy enough time to go ahead and slide up. But Florian did a good job of controlling that wrist. Good wrist control. See, Paddy had to step out of it.
But staying in very well, gives just enough space for Callan to get back to his feet. Immediately, Pimblett changes level. Very decisive and a lot of intent here in this round.
Grinding out, pushing forward, trying to make sure he gets in a great position.
Again, just looking for that outside reap. That's what gave him the transition to the ground a few moments ago.
Hands out of the cage.
So approaching the halfway mark here in this second round. And Patrick Pimblett has come out in this second
Stay busy.
and has really started putting his game plan into action, putting his stamp on this round. And so far it's been all the young next generation fighter in these opening 2.5 minutes.
Florian did a good job of saving himself by taking wrist control, keeping his head buried, but he's got to get his hips free. He's overhooked on the far side, so he's caught in a little bit. He doesn't really have a good position. He's got to get that hand out of there and start working back across, because really Paddy's just too long. Now in full pass, he's too long to stay in a game like this with. Florian's got to get up.
It was nice work from Pimblett to step around the guard. Then he's come back, but he's now earned himself a mount position. Tucking those feet very tightly, but lovely awareness by Callan to use the cage and bridge escape. Rubber guard now for Pimblett.
Stop.
Oh, he's going to be warned for heel kicks to the
No heel
kidneys.
kicks. Understand? Last warning. Go.
Good decision by Rich Mitchell to keep it on the ground. Just give him a quick warning there. A lot of guys will stop that. Inexperienced refs would stop that, bring it up to the feet, make him reset.
Yeah, you can, of course, strike the thighs and other areas with those heels. You cannot, however, hit the kidneys in the back. And I'm going to use the 10th planet name, Crackhead Control, for Paddy Pimblett, showing the flexibility, the high guard work, but able to shrug his shoulders forward is Florian Callen.
Get them toes out of the fence.
Armbar attempt possibly from Pimblett here. Hips all the way out. Very comfortable when he's stacked, isn't he, Frank?
He likes being in that position, which is very difficult for your opponent to deal with it when a guy is not panicking when he's being stacked like that. Wow, immediately hunting for that leg again.
Yeah, no waste of time there, but big knees coming in from Callen as he gets, oh, lovely switch attempt.
He caught 2 or 3 knees in the face that Paddy Pimblett did. He caught 2 or 3 knees right to the face, then made that switch attempt. So defensively, instead of backing out and backing away, very mature, he switched sides with his head and went for the takedown. Now he gets it. Very, very smart. Most guys in that position would get hit, would back all the way out and get separate and try to reset. He didn't reset. Paddy Pimblett stepped right back in again. Yeah. Good job by Florian to keep trying to hunt it down, too.
Really nice transition game there from Pimblett. I was very impressed by how quickly he immediately sought that takedown and has earned himself a good half guard here. Right underhook looks solid, really keeping his opponent very flat. Not too long left to work in this position, though.
There's a 10-second mark. Ooh, good exchange rollout. Nice knee right at the end, completely legal. Good job by Florian to stay aware.
Florian Callen in the white and black shorts, taking on Patrick Pimblett in the black and red shorts. Momentum in this fight, perhaps, Frank, just swinging the way of the young Liverpudlian.
Wow, nice punch and attempt, but had his elbows out, got caught with that underhook. Florian had a good position, was trying to use punching to get into attack for a takedown. Arms were just a little bit too wide and got caught. Now he's back up here against the cage, but still, at least to this point, winning the round.
You think the stature here of Callen would help him get underneath his opponent, earn those takedowns. Tries to drag the single out, switches off to grip all the way around the hips.
Wow, nice work with the knee. Wow, look at that flexibility, just bringing that leg up and around.
Yeah, immediately looking to almost jump guard. And he's looking for that Kimura. Little tougher to finish without the full guard, though.
Wow, Florian put himself in a bad spot. I don't know if he put himself there, if that's where Pimblett put him, but he gave him the ability to get out because he didn't put Pimblett against the cage. He put himself against the cage, and that's how Paddy got out of there.
Pimblett hunted that Kimura, turned it into a very traditional hip bump sweep, and in the transition has earned himself back control with a long time to work here in this third round. Body triangle now for Pimblett, hunting for that neck. What's Callen got to do at this point, Frank?
Callen's got to get one hook out. The problem is light guys want to get all the way out at one time. He's got to get one hook out first, then get the other hook out. Take it piece by piece. Keep an arm across. Right now the arm that's underneath his armpit, it's not good keeping it there because it allows Paddy to be locked in. He can sit there and beat him up, and he's not going to be able to get out. Callen's not. He's stuck. Callen needs to get that arm all the way out and put it on the other side of his head. 2-on-1 it and move it across and then get a leg free. Now he's caught in a body triangle. It's very difficult to get out of this position.
A lot of pressure Pimblett can put on the midsection of Callen at this point. Really drive the hips through. Just something else for the man from London to have to think about.
If Paddy gets on top, he's able to keep that position with the body triangle, flatten him back out again. He could have finished that fight. Florian did a good job of getting to his hands and knees, though.
Both guys were undefeated coming into this contest. One is going to have to leave with a blemish on their record, though, and at the moment it's very much looking like it may well be Florian Callen. 2 minutes left for him to work here, though.
Paddy doing a good job of staying on top, keeping that position, keeping that control.
You can see in the corner of Patrick Pimblett, Paul Rimmer, head coach at Next Generation, and of course, Cage Warriors welterweight fighter Danny Hot Chocolate Roberts. He's going to be in action at Cage Warriors 57, July 20th, Liverpool Echo Arena. But right now, it's all about Patrick Pimblett, who's piling on.
Richard's going to stop this. If he doesn't move, Florian's going to get stopped.
Callen making the decision to stand up, try and shake his man off the top, but looking very safe and secure is Pimblett.
Don't reach up for the head. It's a bad position. Try reaching for the head in that spot. 1:08 left in this. It's a long time to have somebody of this length on top of you in a body triangle and punching away at your ears. Even if you block them all, still part of it's getting through.
Yeah, just not able to catch your breath, a lot of pressure. Callen at this point looking a little lost, and they may not be landing cleanly, but they're not giving Rich Mitchell too many options. That's a look at stopping this fight. Well, change of position, but it's not going to help him too much, is it, Frank?
No, his corner told him to roll to his back. That's a bad position to roll to your back if you don't know what to do once you're here. You get what Florian should have done is he went to his back. He should have got an arm across, and he got all the way to his back on the canvas again. He didn't do that. Now he's caught in a partial rear naked jaw choke, not in a full choke. Now he's going to get mounted again with body triangle still on. Nothing has changed. He did all that energy for nothing. All that happened.
Pimblett again with the back control. Last 10 seconds here. Well, Callen has finally escaped and slipped out. But it's a good angle to attack a submission here from Pimblett, but time runs out. Decisive third round, I think very much probably the second as well. How did you see that one going, Frank?
Yeah, I see the second going to Pimblett, and I saw the third going to Pimblett as well. Florian wins the first. I have it 2 rounds to 1 in favor of Paddy Pimblett.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the scorecards, and we do have a unanimous decision. Judges Sledge and Leatherby score at 30-27. Cartilage 29-28. All for your winner by unanimous decision and still undefeated from Liverpool, England, Paddy The Baddy Pimblett.
Okay, gents, you will protect yourselves at all times. You will obey my instructions at all times. You keep fighting until I tell you to stop. Now touch gloves if you want, step back.
We are about to get underway. 5 5-minute rounds if they need them for the Cage Warriors featherweight world title. Johnny Frazier in the red, Paddy Pimblett in the orange.
Let's go.
Brad Wharton and Ian Dean privileged to call the action here at the packed out Echo Arena in Liverpool.
Certainly is more packed out the last time than Paddy fought here. But then he landed an amazing submission win over Conrad Hayes. Here though is a very, very different animal. Frazier experience, he's not going to be fazed by any of this. He's fought, you know, a big crowd, this kind of atmosphere.
Now Frazier's a guy, he's in a situation where he's got nothing to lose.
That's right, Brad.
A loss here for Pimblett would be a career changer, certainly for the immediate future. Big leg kick by the Baddy.
One thing to watch out for, Brad, in this fight, as we know, Pimblett missed weight last time out in London by quite a large margin. He made it under the championship distance this time, but I wonder how much that might have taken out of him. Only 21, still growing.
There has been talk of a move to lightweight as the years pass, comfortable at featherweight for now. And look at the contrast in Pimblett. The happy-go-lucky, smiling, dancing Pimblett that walks out, and then the eyes go, and it's all business. Just a little bit short on the takedown there was Pimblett.
And you can see the look of disgust on Pimblett's face.
Flying knee, a big right hand! Paddy Pimblett! He's done it! Paddy Pimblett is the new Cage Warriors featherweight champion of the world! Unbelievable!
What a stunning knockout, Brad. This crowd is going absolutely crazy.
Paddy Pimblett vaults the cage to celebrate with his team. Absolute mayhem here in Liverpool. The crowd go wild, the fans go wild. Paddy the Baddy Pimblett goes wild.
And he runs into the crowd there, Brad. You can see it.
You thought the Beatles were big in Liverpool. You have not seen anything.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Rich Mitchell calls a stop to this contest at 1 minute and 35 seconds of the very first round, declaring the winner by TKO and the new Cage Warriors featherweight champion, Paddy the Baddy Pimblett. Paddy Pimblett, featherweight champion. What does that sound to you? That sound like to you?
It was inevitable, wasn't it? Hey, told you, the homecoming, the Baddies' homecoming was something special.
My pick for fight of the night, Josh. I've been looking forward to this one. Conrad Hayes, Paddy Pimblett. 3 5-minute rounds, should they need them.
Conrad Hayes immediately looking to take the center of the cage, get inside. Both guys training good leg kicks. He eats a shin early on here.
Conrad can take a shot, but does he want to be up close with Pimblett?
Yeah, Pimblett fighting this wrist grip here. Hayes, a lot of pressure in on this takedown. He's going to be wary of the Kimura from Pimblett, who looks for the switch now.
Just a phenomenal wrestler is Paddy Pimblett. So much great groundwork going on at Next Gen. Scoops Hayes' legs out from under him.
A really nice work to reverse this position, get on top. Hayes with that overhook, looking to put his guard to work here. Pimblett's got to be wary of this triangle.
He toes out the fence.
You can see the left hand of Conrad Hayes is gripping the wrist. He's going to look to walk this guard really high. Pimblett trying to keep his head up and posture high.
Postures up, lands a shot. Hayes bleeding from the nose, I believe.
I'm going to tell you again, keep your toes out the fence.
Admonished for toes in the fence from internationally respected referee Mark Goddard.
Looking for an omoplata here. You see Pimblett trying to work his head back on the inside. And Hayes is going to use that forearm to drive up under the chin and cheek of Pimblett and bring that leg down in front of him. It's going to trap the shoulder of the young Liverpudlian. Pimblett putting his knee on the chest. That's a very nice defense. It gives you a really strong posture to bring up on up kick, though. I think accidental more than anything. Looking for the back now.
Hayes going to have to be careful here. You do not want a submission artist the caliber of Paddy Pimblett on your back like this, Josh.
Yeah, not with 3 minutes in the round left to work as well.
Pimblett landing a knee up against the fence. Both these guys, such a bright future. Pimblett 19, Conrad just 21.
Well, Pimblett's giving the inside position to Conrad Hayes here, who's looking for that high crotch. Pimblett, you can see he's not worrying about the flying triangle attempt. He's got the entry. Elbows in a flying triangle from Paddy Pimblett. If he can lock this standing, Conrad Hayes is in a lot of trouble here.
He was looking for that powerbomb, didn't get it. Pimblett's got this locked up tight, Josh.
Yeah, Conrad Hayes is trying to regain his posture. He's got to get his hips down and his head up. That's so much easier said than done. It's a perfect angle here for Paddy Pimblett. See him create more by grabbing that leg.
Pimblett's so good in this position. Chipping away with elbows against Conrad Hayes.
Hayes trying to sit down to break the grip. What he needs to do, if that's going to work, is get his foot in the armpit. As he sits down, looks like he might be finding some space. And that's the tap!
Big submission win for Paddy Pimblett. It was a battle of two prospects. And it's the local fighter, Paddy the Baddy Pimblett. Here's that flying triangle. Just walks right up his body. Tries to get the shin locked in. Hayes looking for the powerbomb, didn't quite get it. Big elbows, staying busy there is Paddy Pimblett. And then he would switch round to the armbar. 3 5-minute rounds in the Cage Warriors bantamweight division. Paddy the Baddy Pimblett in the black shorts with red trim. Martin Sheridan in the black and grey. And we're underway, Josh, at Cage Warriors 65.
Great crowd here in the Helix Arena. And Martin Sheridan finding the mark early there.
Sheridan perhaps fancying himself as a knockout artist these days. Looking to land a big right hand early.
Well, it was in the clinch up against the cage, so he managed to time that fantastic knee. Really a highlight video that went global very, very quickly. Finding his way into the clinch quickly here, driving Pimblett up against the cage.
Sheridan looking to bully the younger man here.
Funny thing about Pimblett, he always looks so nonplussed about everything that's going on. It's just, you know, it's a completely blank demeanor. Probably quite unsettling for his opponents, I'd imagine.
Completely blank demeanor until he gets hold of a neck or an arm.
Well,
and then he's cranking.
Yeah, that is the truth. This guy is very good on the ground.
Oh, and he's trying to jump to guard here. Excellent work by Paddy Pimblett to jump guard.
Yeah, climbing the guard very high indeed. Sheridan's going to have to watch himself here.
And the guard of Paddy Pimblett is not somewhere you want to play.
Yeah, I mean, Pimblett has a flying triangle choke win on his record, so not quite getting the elevation there, but you can already see the guard's open, the feet are on the hips. There's a lot of intent in this guard, and looking to switch over for
get your feet out of the
a bit of high guard here.
Referee just warning for toes in the cage. Of course, you can use the sole of your foot to push off the fence. You're not allowed to hook your toes through it.
Clearly, it's a very strong whizzer that Pimblett has. I'm surprised with this open guard. Sheridan hasn't looked to posture at all here. But this angle is not good for Sheridan. Pimblett's cutting his way off to the side, and if he can keep it here, there's a lot of options for him. You see him trying to get his hips back out as Sheridan
put your feet in the cage,
squares himself back up.
Pimblett really searching with those legs.
Oh, Sheridan's
working him up nice and high here.
Yeah, he's got to get square here. Really a great degree of flexibility shown from Pimblett at this stage. Oh, he's looking for the omoplata here. Sheridan just shutting him down, staying tight.
Really got Martin Sheridan tied up like a pretzel here. There's Paddy Pimblett.
He's got to get that right arm back at some point.
Still got plenty of time to work. Just
Armbar
over
coming
2
in.
minutes.
That left arm is in a lot of danger. Oh, and there he goes.
Throws the leg over.
Oh, and it's under the armpit. That's a really tight grip, but he switches for something a bit more traditional now. And Sheridan is going to have to stack Pimblett forward with everything he's got here. He wants to keep all his weight on Pimblett's head. The cage as well is perhaps going to save him. Stop Pimblett extending here. But Sheridan has got to keep him stacked up. And the knee on the face is a fantastic defense as well. He's got to try and earthquake his, what I mean by that is constantly change the pressure on trying to pull that arm out. But at the same time, he can't let up that pressure. He's got to keep him stacked forward.
Good work here from Sheridan to survive this armbar attempt for so long. We've seen Pimblett be so dangerous with these submissions in the past.
Yeah, I mean, it's a huge degree of flexibility from the young man from Liverpool. Staying very calm, both guys at the moment.
Both guys, as you say, just looking very relaxed. Right in front of us here at the commentary position in the Dublin Helix.
You see that left knee of Sheridan coming up now. He's going to block the back of Pimblett, keep him stacked over. The cage is definitely helping him out a bit here, helping him keep the pressure and stop Pimblett from being able to spin all the way under or
Sheridan
change the angle
that
here.
Elbow in.
Get your feet out of the cage, fighter.
Well, this is a very interesting defensive sequence here. Every single little change of angle. You can see occasionally Pimblett will try and bite down on the head with that leg.
Oh, trying to extend that arm.
Oh.
And Sheridan's out.
Good defense from Martin
But he's
Sheridan.
got to watch the leg lock here from Paddy Pimblett, switching for a heel.
Yeah, he's just trying to attack the reap on the knee here and trying to pull his way out of Sheridan. Pimblett immediately back in.
Great work on the takedown from Paddy Pimblett there. Kept a hold of that leg, used it to drive for the takedown.
Brilliant grappling exchanges in this first fight. Pimblett showing a different type of top game here. Big strikes early.
Missed with that final punch. Woo. A strong finish from Paddy Pimblett there. Judges Oglesby, Leatherby and Sledge taking care of business with the scorecards. Brad Wharton and Josh Palmer handling commentary duties here at Cage Warrior 65, and a great takedown from Paddy Pimblett.
Yeah, got him
the second round.
Got him very nicely under the strikes here. Here you can see the left overhook from Martin Sheridan, and he's got the feet on the hips looking to attack now. Pretty much the polar opposite of what we saw in the last round.
Pimblett was aggressive when he got this top position at the end of the first round. Sheridan tying him up though.
Oh, and using it as a very nice opportunity to pass. Half guard now for the Liverpudlian. You see Sheridan hip out, get that knee back in front. That's going to help him establish a bit more space between himself and Pimblett. Pimblett staying very well connected in the upper body.
Paul Rimmer asking for the switch to mount. Just needs to get that knee through and over the chest.
Yeah, he's searching. He can go either side with that knee, to be honest. He's got such a good deep underhook on the right-hand side. But if he chooses to cut across to the near or the far side, he's got control of Sheridan's upper body. And that is the most important thing in passing this half guard here.
Put your knee on that arm. When you get a chance, put the knee on that arm. There you go. And again, keep feeding
Pimblett taking his time here, waiting for the opening to arise. And there is the pass into mount. Pimblett postures up. Big punches and elbows, and Martin Sheridan's given his back here, Josh.
Yeah, and possibly the body triangle. He didn't want to take too many of those strikes, so he immediately bailed out. Turtled with a body triangle.
And this is a bad position for Martin Sheridan to be in here. Paddy Pimblett locking up that body triangle from the back.
Oh, and this is going to be a lot of pressure and a lot of time for Paddy Pimblett to work here. Let's see what he does with fighting the hands. Expect some strikes perhaps to open a few spaces up on Martin Sheridan's defense.
As we approach the halfway point in the round, and indeed the fight, Paddy Pimblett now firmly in control from this back position. Referee Peter Lavery asking for a bit of work, and Pimblett keen to oblige.
Yeah, staying glued to the back very nicely. That body triangle is going to keep him firmly affixed to Martin Sheridan, who's doing a good job of defending this back position at the moment.
Watch the back of the head.
Very aware
those shots.
of what attacks might be coming from Pimblett, but switching the body triangle to the dominant side again. You can see Sheridan's going to switch, try and put Pimblett's ankles on the floor again.
Yeah, Josh, we talk about this body triangle being such a useful tool. How does the fighter escape this situation?
He's got to do exactly what he's got here. You can actually put a tremendous amount of pressure if you can drop the side that the legs are locked down to the ground, start blocking the leg and driving your hips forward. But it is a tough ask. It's one of those situations where you say, you know what, I've been better defending this before I got there.
More good work here from Paddy Pimblett. Martin Sheridan in survival mode here.
Yeah, still a fair amount of time to work. It's a good round for Pimblett so far, a good controlling round.
Target the shots, Paddy. Make sure they're right.
Not overstepping at the moment, but if he wants to maximize this position, it could do with getting to work here.
Sporadic punches coming in from Pimblett, keeping Sheridan guessing. And you just know if Paddy sees that opening, he's going to be all over that rear naked choke. Let go of the body triangle now. Has both hooks in though. Sheridan trying to turn his way into guard. Pimblett not going to let him, switches back to the body triangle as soon as he felt Sheridan moving there.
Yeah, it's really good positional retention from Pimblett. And this whole time he's going to be squeezing that body triangle, just wearing down on Martin Sheridan, who now stands. Could we get a standing rear naked choke here? Oh, and good work from Sheridan to try and shake him off the top. Actually not possible to illegally spike your opponent there because it's deemed that your opponent is in control of the position.
And that was a double palm strike to the ear by Paddy Pimblett.
Well,
shades of Sakuraba there.
It can be very effective. I mean, really disorientate your opponent. And all Pimblett needs is a split second to open up, but really good defense from Sheridan to hopefully see out the round here for him.
A couple of nice punches in there from Pimblett. Finishing the round strong again is the young man from Liverpool. Round 2 in the books, Josh. And the seconds are ushered out.
Okay, guys, last round. Are we ready?
As referee Peter Lavery starts this third and final round here in the Cage Warriors bantamweight division. Pimblett in the black and red, Sheridan in the black and grey, and a fast and furious start to this third round, Josh.
Yeah, Sheridan opening up with the strikes. He knows that Pimblett's going to look to change level here. He's already tried it once, but again, a very calm look on the face of Pimblett. Oh, and Sheridan
couple of nice shots there.
Just getting a little bit close, though, and allowing Pimblett to get in on his hips.
Pimblett seemingly confident to take a couple of shots just to get that up-close position. Lock his man up for the takedown.
Yeah, Pimblett's got the body lock, and he's trying to reap the leg if he can just spin to his left, but dropping down for a double again now.
Martin, the silence of Sheridan, trying to defend this takedown.
Oh, he's got to use that whizzer. Let's see if he can hang on to it. If he doesn't, Pimblett's going to be straight on his back. Awkward position for him.
And this is not where he wants to be. Again with Pimblett on the back.
Oh, with another 3.5 minutes to work, Pimblett has got both hooks in. See if he looks for the... Well, he's going to look for the body triangle. His coach, Paul Rimmer, is calling for it.
And let's see how much fight Martin Sheridan's got left in him. Spent the majority of the second round defending the choke with Pimblett on his back.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if Pimblett opts for a different type of attack here as he locks that body triangle again. Let's see if he throws some strikes this time, because it really was just control and grip fighting throughout the whole of that second round.
Of course, later this evening, we have our main card live, televised around the world. Viewers in Ireland can watch live and free on irishmma.com. Of course, if you're watching the fights at home tonight, do join in the conversation on social media with the hashtag CWFC65. And we are on Twitter at Cage Warriors. Tell us what you think of the evening. Tell us what you think of the fights. We've got a lot of great contests in store at the Dublin Helix.
Again, good period of control from Pimblett, using that body triangle well, but I'd really like to see him try something different up top. He's grip fighting and he's looking for the choke, but just some bigger, more consistent strikes might not go amiss here.
And these punches not damaging shots, just trying to keep Sheridan guessing and maybe elicit a little bit of movement that Pimblett can capitalise on.
I mean, what I will say is obviously Pimblett is coming off that loss. Doesn't want to do anything too risky at the moment. He's grinding his way to a fairly decisive judge's decision victory in my eyes. And that is, of course, the most important thing, is getting that W. But he's got a lot of opportunity to be really offensive and try and get the finish here.
Pimblett still looking for that choke. Dropping a couple more shots in. Nice little elbow there from Pimblett. Definitely doing enough to keep Martin Sheridan guessing here as he looks to free up that neck for the choke. Sheridan, though, doing a good job defensively.
Yeah, now Pimblett is in on the chin now, but tucking it deep, and oh, he's going to try and fight the grips. Good work from Sheridan again, who is staying remarkably calm.
Sheridan doing his best to turn into the guard of Pimblett, but whether it's the hooks or the body triangle,
The shots, Paddy.
the Englishman's been able to prevent him from doing so and maintain this back control for the majority of the second and third round now, Josh.
I mean, breaking the body triangle is a tough thing to do. I think he's got him back to both hooks now. Well, Slightly unorthodox body triangle. He might be able to spin him round here, but just losing the grip, that 2-on-1.
Just 40 seconds to go in this bantamweight contest.
And really just the story of this fight is better positional control from Paddy Pimblett.
Pimblett putting a little bit more mustard on those punches now.
I mean, that's what I've been wanting to see, is just a bit more emphasis on trying to open Martin Sheridan up, because clearly Sheridan's got good defense here. He just doesn't quite know how to get his way out of this body triangle.
Final 10 seconds of the round. Pimblett going for an armbar to finish things off.
Yeah, worth it with the clacker.
Sheridan, though, able to hang in there.
Yeah, I mean, regardless of how you saw the first round, a very decisive second and third for Paddy Pimblett.
All three agree, 30-27. Your winner by unanimous decision, Paddy The Baddy Pimblett.
30-27 on all judges' scorecards, and Paddy Pimblett is back, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah,
ready to make a run in the Cage Warriors bantamweight division.
Yeah, I think a very fair decision there. Martin Sheridan, great defense throughout on the ground, but not quite able to get his own offense going.
Paddy The Baddy Pimblett in the dark red and black. Stephen Martin, the solid black.
Immediately out, pumping the double jab. Reach advantage for Pimblett.
He's so good at making that reach count on the feet and also using those long limbs. And
a huge left hook! This could be over!
Well, Pimblett is scrambling for position here, but what a left hook from Stephen Martin. Pimblett trying to get some guard back. Looking to scramble to the back here, and how quick has he regained his senses.
Unbelievable. Paddy Pimblett, such an aggressive grappler. And he really kept himself alive by clinching up there and initiating the grapple. He was rocked from that huge left hook.
Immediately looking for a takedown of his own. See Martin spreading his legs wide. Pimblett's going to look to put his head underneath that thigh and then pull that right leg away from him. There he goes, but you can see the hips heavy from Stephen Martin. Sinking all his weight down again, back to this split stance.
Stephen Martin just being wanted to pick those elbows wisely.
Good reap from Pimblett. You see immediately Martin posting the hand to stand back up again, trying to split the base, but Pimblett's around the hips now.
And Martin again firing off those short shots.
I'm still amazed that after eating a left hook like that, getting cleanly dropped, Pimblett's now the one trying to be the aggressor.
Pimblett now firing in a couple of right hands as he tries to secure his position against the cage.
You can see he does not want to have to deal with that entry again. He's done the job of connecting to his opponent. Now he's just got to stay connected and keep working the combinations. If Martin manages to create some space, expect him to open up on the feet again.
The last time we saw Paddy Pimblett going into a fight as a huge favourite, it has to be said. He was choked unconscious by Cameron Elson. Very nearly another big upset for Paddy Pimblett there, but he seems to have recovered now. He definitely looks like he's shaken off the ill effects of that shot, or at least he appears to have done.
Yeah, double unders for him now. You can see that body lock, trying to get the head under as well. If he can do that, he's going to put a bend in Stephen Martin's spine. Torque the upper body, but really good work from Martin to pummel back into this 50-50 position.
Fast and furious action here. Cage Warriors 73.
And it's Stephen Martin now trying to put the forehead in the chin, lift Pimblett up onto his toes. What that's going to do is take his base away from him. So if Martin tries to off-balance him, it's going to be just that little bit more effective.
Stay busy or
you've got to watch Paddy Pimblett climbing up from this position.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, we've seen him throw submissions from this position against the cage. As he uses the cage to take a little bit of his weight in doing it. Doesn't require quite as much explosive energy then.
Flying triangle tonight would net him $2,000, one of the Cage Warriors bounty bonuses.
It's worth noting there are also bonuses for just finishing the fight as well.
All our main card fighters eligible for a bonus for finishing. Another big shot from Stephen Martin.
Again, that left hand helps him find a way into the clinch. He pummels through now. He's going to look to move to the back if Pimblett's left arm doesn't stop him.
Talked about the bouncy bonuses, the finishing bonuses. Of course, we have KO of the night, submission of the night, fight of the night. Lots of ways for our Cage Warriors athletes to make a little extra money before Christmas.
Easier, guys, improve the position.
Pimblett turns around, nearly eats a knee for his trouble though.
Yeah, scoops the leg up to a single. See what he can do here. He's going to have to look to change direction fairly aggressively.
Nice balance here from Stephen Martin.
Oh, Pimblett's going searching for that ankle.
Pimblett now going for the other leg.
Oh, Martin keeps looking to tie up that grip and using it very nice. Oh, they're scrambling for the back here.
Nice takedown by Paddy Pimblett up against the cage.
Just a little bit more hustle in the scramble from Pimblett. Just 1 or 2 steps ahead of the next transition, the next sequence. But Martin is jumping on an arm-in guillotine here. It's very hard. He's got to get up high. He's got to connect his right lat muscle to the side of the neck, and you can see Pimblett just scooping his head out.
Final 10 seconds of the round. Pimblett looking for an aggressive finish, a big left hand and a knee and an elbow from Pimblett.
Oh, a huge elbow!
Wow, he has cut him bad with that elbow strike at the end of the round.
Paddy Pimblett is fired up. He is shouting at the crowd.
Which is made in the interest
and referee Mark Goddard has asked for the doctor to come in, as well as the cut man.
There are exits on all sides of the arena. Clearly
wow, what I love is
we're going to see a replay of the action now.
See what you can do.
And it's going to be that huge left hook to start things off.
And I honestly thought Paddy Pimblett was done there, but look how quickly he scrambled for position.
Phenomenal recovery. Some big elbows coming down there. Pimblett trying to turn the tables, do some damage of his own.
Mind you that smoking is strictly forbidden in the building. We hope you enjoy.
And Martin again trying to do some work. A nice knee from the Englishman.
Let's have a look at this elbow.
Oh, absolutely huge, and instantly you see the cut.
Oh, and they've called the fight.
It's over. Paddy Pimblett wins. It's a stoppage between rounds. The cut deemed too severe to continue.
Referee in charge is Mark Gunner.
Paddy Pimblett staring his opponent in the eyes.
Man,
that is 1,000-yard stare.
I didn't realize he turns it on. That's up from the smiling kid I seen earlier.
Purple trunks for Paddy Pimblett, black trunks for Ash Grimshaw. Ash Grimshaw, 13 years, the senior of Paddy Pimblett in this one, carrying the far greater amount of experience. Well, let's see how that plays out tonight. Cage Warriors 75.
Good head movement right there to throw that left hand. Way to do that stagger. Eats a kick on the inside, looking good.
Reach advantage for Pimblett.
I.e. that big long flick kick he just threw.
Both guys taking their time to settle into this one, trying to work out the range. Southpaw stance for Ash Grimshaw as he throws the outside kick to the calf.
Good power, Kedzie. He's just got to get inside. And really looks like he wants to get in and just start throwing those hooks. Get Mike Tyson on somebody and just flex, get in tight. You know what I mean? Pull the shoulders up and just start throwing body shots and hooks. Get out of the way from the long guy throwing alternate crazy ideas like that. Crazy kicks.
Great counter takedown for Ash Grimshaw. Spotted the kick coming. And Pimblett, look at the dexterity in the legs, wrapping that top hook all the way over the top as he searches for this arm. He's got the
You can tell he's home right now to do this.
Yeah, it's just such a crazy, unorthodox guard. Grimshaw staying very calm as he looks to connect his hands together and try and drag that arm back inside. I mean, the way that Pimblett searched that hook over the top of the body, he's looking to insert it.
It's all about leg control right now. Big thing right now is that leg control, and it's not being able to be locked up correctly, and that's one of the things that's saving him with the pressure.
Well, what that brown belt of Ash Grimshaw is going to give him is submission awareness. I mean, he knows exactly what's going on here. He knows where his weight's got to be. You see Pimblett basing on his head, trying to engage those legs, and immediately, great defense, switches to take the back.
Wow.
What a transition from Paddy Pimblett. Body triangle perhaps early here. 2 minutes in.
Body triangle right now.
And we said, you know, it's going to be those counter submissions off the takedown of Ash Grimshaw. That's exactly how this fight is playing out. Grimshaw staying calm, trying to bite down on those gloves, really control the wrists. He's on the right side to break that body triangle. But you can bet that Paddy Pimblett's going to be keeping him busy up top. Controversy black belt, Jude Samuel in the corner of Ash Grimshaw, just a few feet away. Trying to talk him out of what is a very precarious position for him here at the start of the first round.
This is a patience game. It's just maddening. You want to get out of there so bad. You know you're stuck in these quicksand. You want to get out. You're just sinking and sinking. And if you fight too hard, it just gets tighter and tighter. And it's a maddening situation for sure.
I just love the transitional ability of Paddy Pimblett. You know,
how fast he did it.
He climbed all the way over the top of the arm. As soon as he knew the arm was gone and the defense was there, he hipped up and went to go high and take the back, and Grimshaw looking to cross that arm over. We saw Scott Cliss doing something very similar in his bout just a few moments ago. He escaped that body triangle and turned it around, and that's what Ash Grimshaw's got to do here.
You know, the one thing I noticed the most about Paddy, like I said, is once it hit the ground, wow, no matter where the position was, you could just see him hit another form of relax, and it was just, now he was in his element, and he was enjoying it.
It was a complete change of demeanor and pace for him. Grimshaw's done a good job of flushing back out to a half guard here.
That's how you get out the mount right there. That was beautiful.
Yeah, wasting no time in hip escaping, but he's given up that far side underhook. But looking for a triangle. Oh, Ash Grimshaw gets the crooked guard. Pimblett stacks his way out of it. Heavy legs from Grimshaw to re-establish though. Then we're going to see a bit of a hip switch here from Pimblett. Try and shut down that lower leg. Or a long step pass, perhaps. Staying very tight in the upper body.
You can tell they're both low, and then he throws an elbow. I was gonna say, not too much striking. This is one of those things that this is what's so cool about what's happening right now is they are so engaged in the MMA grappling. There's no gi, no belt to grab. They're not even really throwing any punches. You know what I mean?
I mean, look how quick Paddy Pimblett jumped on the neck of Ash Grimshaw to stop that posture as Grimshaw dove underneath for the half guard. Pimblett using those long arms to wrap that neck up and try and shut him down extremely quickly.
It almost seems like if Paddy were to start striking right there, he'd create space, and that space is what's going to help Grimshaw get out of there.
Yeah,
he's taking the space away, which is keeping him in one spot, and then he finally battle out of it.
Immediately going to Sean Williams' guard is Ash Grimshaw. Sits up, looks for the guillotine. I think we're going to see this round out.
Good elbow. And that's the one thing that I've loved, and not to cut you off, but that they didn't waste anything with their strikes. They didn't give up any space, and they kept it nice and tight.
To hip all the way out and find his way to the top position. Extremely good work for a man who, would you believe, is only 21 years old.
I like how he kept the movement going, rather than take the back and try to force some kind of triangle or try to get that position.
Touch of gloves as we start the second. Hashtag CWFC75 on the social media. Get involved with tonight's fights.
Hashtag Grimshaw needs to get more side to side and circle and stay away from that foot right there and get inside and close the distance. Don't flinch and wait for him to jump in like that. Start taking the initiative and going after there. Those hooks. Throw more of those and get in to do it.
Pimblett happy to often to reach to close the distance from Paddy Pimblett with a few hooks behind it. That right hook around it for sure.
Now Grimshaw's trying to do a little bit more of rolling with the punches, and Paddy's just well-rounded.
Yeah, Grimshaw turned in on the whizzer and looked as though he was going to hip out of it. And the reap behind the leg from Paddy Pimblett. What a fantastic piece of transitional wrestling from him. And once again, he's in half guard. The catch this time, though, the left underhook battle was immediately won by Ash Grimshaw.
And to be able to watch what Paddy's doing with this stand-up now is, for his age, 21, man, he's put together. He's good.
And you see how quickly he shut the posture down and immediately went back to the gable grip with the head and arm. He's looking to drive
he's
that
moving
shoulder
up top right there, pinning those shoulders down, and now maybe posture up and break it.
Yeah, that's good fundamentals from Ash Grimshaw to restore guard. He's going to go searching for that Kimura on the left-hand side here. Kimura guillotine combo as he looks to sit up high. Climbing the legs up around the head. Paddy Pimblett's going to have to get some posture here. You don't generally want your hips coming higher than your head. There we go.
Good elbow. This has been a phenomenal chess match. Normally, sometimes one-sided. This has been great to watch between these two.
Yeah, Pimblett was reaching to try and drag the arm of Ash Grimshaw behind. A huge hip bump from Ash Grimshaw. He restores guard with it, but not able to off-balance the Liverpudlian just yet. Sean Williams guard again for Ash Grimshaw. That right hand hooks over and underneath his own leg. It gives you just a little bit more security in what is probably getting a very sweaty cage now. Let's see if he can set up a triangle with that control on that side.
Yeah, he's open, he's got one. I still always think of my man Jeff Curran. Always, don't let your hands touch the mat when you're on top, because the guy on the bottom, he wants to get the down so he can climb up your arms. Never touch the mat. It's like hot mat, get away from it.
Yeah,
good job of passing right there to get in the half.
And immediately Pimblett has managed to connect those hands on that underhook and around the head again.
You know he wants to keep circling out, but he's, you know what I mean? They're not, there's no real explosion. They're really just going, they're just kind of slithering back and forth, setting up. That's just making this such a chess match. This is so cool to watch these two battle for position back and forth.
Oh, Ash Grimshaw Ash Grimshaw with one hook, managing to maintain his guard, but constantly being tested on his back here by Paddy Pimblett. 2 minutes left in this second round, as it's Grimshaw searching for the far side Kimura now. You can see Pimblett cupping the inside of his own thigh, sitting down on his own hand to trap it. Good defensive awareness.
I'm loving the wherewithal of Grimshaw, because he's actually over here looking and listening to his corner. When you have fighters that are doing that and they're out of that tunnel vision, they're away from all that freak-out mode, and they can hear. Now it's just like playing a video game. You can let your corners really control you, and you just go out there and you start doing what they can see.
Paddy Pimblett's gone to an S grip behind the legs to try and defend this arm.
Stay busy with the position, guys, don't hold.
Grimshaw looking to step over now. Can he do to Pimblett what Pimblett did to him?
And he did not even once he threw that punch, he gave him just that one little opening, and boom, he throws the leg over.
He's driven the leg inside. He's going to switch the hips underneath and use that to try and drive the hand free. Pimblett really sitting the weight down on that arm to try and protect it. But this is a good attacking grip for Ash Grimshaw as we close into the last minute of the round.
Trying to step over the head, trying to get out underneath it, trying to keep him straightening it out. This has been amazing.
Knee bar transition, perhaps.
This is crazy. He's going to grab it. Wow. Man.
I mean, if Grimshaw can turn Pimblett away, he can attack the knee here, but good stacking defense.
Wow, both of them, they've just done such a great job of being in trouble, but they never look like they're in trouble. You never can really tell that either one is in trouble, but they're both snatching them up so fast, and in one little opening, and they're boom, they're in on the arm, and boom, they're in on the leg. It's just been crazy.
Grimshaw's been very good in retaining this half guard of this reverse De La Riva, but you can see again, as soon as he goes to get some posture, try and put his underhook to use, Pimblett wraps his head up, controls his posture, puts a bend in his spine, and forces him to reset his position. Another interesting round for the judges to score here, but it's been Paddy Pimblett on top throughout the second round as he throws a bit of ground and pound into the mix now. Grimshaw was in our very first round. We go into our third and final round here. Mark Goddard getting us underway. Josh Palmer, Jens Pulver bringing you all the action from the Camden Center in central London. Thank you to those of us joining us on all of our broadcast partners, and of course UFC Fight Pass. That long pouring front hand of Paddy Pimblett trying to keep Ash Grimshaw in check.
And he's just trying to keep him out there at that range. Keep him out there where he's most effective. At the end of his punch, at the end of his kick, that's a good place to have him.
I wonder if Ash Grimshaw's got to throw some level changes to strikes rather than level changes. That's a huge uppercut, just goes missing. And Pimblett surges forward. He's got the hands connected around the hips as Grimshaw looks to make his base as wide as possible against the cage. Pimblett's behind the hip though.
Pimblett's actually done a better job of that body lock. Right, I was just going to say, a better job of that body lock and folded Grimshaw trying to do that underhook. He folded him.
As soon as he stepped behind the leg, it was almost a valley drop off the body lock, and a great takedown for him. And we've seen how dominant he can be and how controlling he can be in this top position. Throwing some elbows in to the mix now.
And above all, this is really imposing his will for the judges. That's what this is coming down to, the judges.
Good short elbows from Pimblett, something we haven't seen too much from him in these ground exchanges so far.
Pass by, comes back up real quick, get that leg back a little more.
Hustling on
now
the
he's got a
single.
good sprawl right there. It'll be tough for Pimblett if he's going to be able to pull that in or if he's got to bail on that and circle around behind. But Grimshaw's got it. He's ahead of him with that hip, having that hip back.
Yeah, Grimshaw tying up the leg. Let's see if Pimblett looks to go all the way through. The cage is probably going to prohibit him here. He's on a good ankle pick, though.
This is perfect because he can't back out and scoot with it, so he stands up. It's about the only thing he had left.
Good work to use the cage from Grimshaw. Again, Pimblett going circling the ankle pick.
Watch the back of the head, Grimshaw! Watch the back of the head!
Mark Goddard warning him for shots to the back of the head, but some huge short shots.
Makes me wonder about that one left he hit him in the jaw with there. He hit him with a great left hand upside the jaw when he was reaching forward and busy tied up.
I love how Pimblett scooped the leg up and immediately reverses the position on Ash Grimshaw. I mean, this guy is dynamic in when he goes searching.
21 years old, it's crazy.
Seen him in a few grappling tournaments up in the north of England and usually takes home the gold medal. You can see why when you hone your craft. And something as oppressive as mixed martial arts, going into a grappling tournament seems relatively easy.
The thing is, he makes the awkward work. The way that stand-up, the way he just kind of jumped in the air and flicked the jab, and it's not the most technical thing you've seen, but he makes the awkward work. He makes you flinch, but then when he gets on the ground, he is literally, that's his spot. He's like, that's like being the fish in water. I love this. And he just, and you can see it, the transitional difference on the ground in his grappling prowess as opposed to standing up.
Grimshaw with a foot on the hip now. Let's see if he can kick away. You see both his feet are off the ground though. It's going to be very hard for him to re-establish a standing position. And as soon as he tries to plant his feet, Paddy Pimblett closes the distance and shuts that frame down again.
Now he's just crushing him, not letting him sit up, not letting him try to kick the feet away, not letting him do anything to create some space so that he can get off his back.
I love how connected he stays in the upper body when he looks to try and step over the legs. Butterfly guard for Ash Grimshaw, but it's going to be so hard to do anything with when he can't sit up off his back and the cage is there. Through to a half guard or sort of reverse De La Riva again for Grimshaw. But I think at this point he's got a post, he's got to get that right hand on the mat and start trying to walk us back up the cage. Good elbows. Again, Pimblett always going back to that head control and the threat of the guillotine. As soon as Grimshaw tries to regain any sort of offensive posture, and Paddy Pimblett's looking at us and smiling and saying, I'm having a good time here. Good shoulder pressure. There's only 45 seconds left in this fight. All he's got to do is stay heavy and wear on Ash Grimshaw here. Grimshaw kicks out and tries.
I think Grimshaw hurt you a little bit. He gave it a little push. Didn't know the time. But that's the deal right now is, I mean, you can see Paddy's just stealing this away. Position and landing the strikes.
Just grinding it out.
Yeah.
I mean, I say grinding it out. He's doing a great job to pass. He's doing a great job to be aggressive throughout.
He's just been heavy everywhere he's been so far on the ground. It's amazing to watch him transition to different positions, up on the head so he can move his legs and beat their legs. And what he's doing, he's just staying heavy everywhere.
Yeah, he's got his sequences down perfectly as he looks for some big elbows to flurry on the finish. We're going to go to the judges' scorecards here after 3 fights.
Making a statement at the end.
And I think Paddy Pimblett knows that he's probably taking the win here. He mounts the cage and starts shouting to all of his fans who've made the trip down from Liverpool, jumps down to hug his cornerman. Ash Grimshaw is on his knees in the center of the cage.
Cards and all three have it 30-27 for your winner by unanimous decision, Paddy the Baddy Pimblett.
All right, Paddy. Wow, number one, 21 years old. The way you walk in here, you talk it, you walk it, you back it up. Take us through it, man.
I'm the boy, aren't I?
You understand the rules you're fighting under? This is to me at all times, keep yourself protected. When I say stop, you stop. You want to touch gloves, do it now? Let's do this.
Final stretches there from referee Mark Goddard. 5-minute rounds if they need them for the Cage Warriors World Featherweight title. The challenger, Julian Juicy J Erosa in the blue. The champion, Paddy the Baddy Pimblett in the orange. Touch of the gloves, and we are underway here at the BT studio.
Both very long, lanky featherweights. We're really seeing that in the development of the game. The height becomes a huge advantage. Nice switch kick there, up to the head. of Arosa. And one of the things that Arosa does quite well, he's got good range fighting, very powerful strikes, but he does leave his hands quite low, you know, and can really, you can see him get caught quite easily. And if Paddy decides to run into him like he has before in his previous fight for the title, where he just blistered it forward, it can really cause him some trouble.
Paddy's talked a lot about showing his hands off recent contests. He certainly did that when he took the title against Johnny Frazier in Liverpool. Can he do it against someone who, with all due respect to Johnny Frazier, is a little bit more of a well-known striker, perhaps a bit more of an orthodox striker than Johnny Frazier, and of course has that range as well, Luke.
And there's that overhand there. He has that range. They're both long and tall and lanky, but you can see the face on the face of Arosa. He's wearing the mark now. Doesn't keep his hands high. Any looping shots he can get caught by. And this guy Arosa only has losses via knockout. You know, only has a couple of them as well. It's 17-3 if we include the Ulmer fighter loss that he had, and they're all knockouts. You know, Paddy, a great submission specialist, but you can see from his game plan here already, they're using the range, they're looking to strike together. And Arosa sometimes can get caught into just throwing one shot, moving, throwing one shot. And if Paddy can put together those combinations, he could really cause Arosa some damage.
Nice uppercut there from Arosa, and a great exchange of strikes. Really managed to bait Pimblett into a bit of a slugfest there. And you've got to think that's perhaps where Arosa wants this a little bit more than Pimblett. Again with the uppercut.
Beautiful, changing that jab into a left front uppercut. Sort of like a shovel shot with the jab. Beautiful work there. And then Paddy tries to do it back to him, but the distance is just not there. You know, if you can make this patient and Arosa can keep working with the distance, I feel like Arosa has a lot more experience on the feet when it comes to fight time. You know, he's had a lot of fights where he's been on the feet. He's utilised his striking very well. We usually see Paddy blister in, get it to the mat and look for a submission. When he's on the feet, you know, we haven't seen him here too much. He's landing. You can see that Arosa's wearing those strikes, and he is very unorthodox. But this is what we're more used to seeing, is Paddy going to the ground, similar to Chris Fishgold we just saw, and controlling the game on the floor. Beautiful takedown by lacing the leg on the right side there. And let's see if he can go to work on the ground here.
Well, Paddy Pimblett certainly never lacking in confidence, Luke. He's certainly got the confidence to strike with Juicy J. But you've got to think that this is really where he wants the contest. This is his bread and butter.
But it's okay having confidence, but when you're taking on the toughest test of your career so far, you know, he's still very young, 21, very early on. Beautiful trick with the knee there. Looks to go over to the mounted position. Good sweep attempt there from Arosa. Uses it to shrimp and get back to his feet. Gets on top of Paddy, and now we're going to end back up on the feet. Arosa searching for the head, looking for a guillotine. They've ended in the sprawling position. See how he's lacing his left arm around Arosa's? That means he could possibly sit out to his left side and try and look to take the back. Arosa adjusts there and puts his knee in the way. And Paddy doesn't mind going to the floor, so he manages to kind of pull guard there. But his underhook arm is trapped. And Arosa really stifling the game here of Paddy Pimblett.
Well, we've seen Pimblett fight from these positions before. A little bit of trash talk between the two fighters there. Heron Webb looking to create a little space and throw that elbow down.
And you know, like we said, Paddy has really captured the nation, and he's had some great performances, but this is the key performance for him now. Beautiful takedown there. But you know, the whole world is watching now. We're on UFC Fight Pass, and he gets to put it together. Manages to scramble to the back of his opponent, and this is where Paddy Pimblett comes alive. He's on the back, has two hooks. His legs are crossed over. Sometimes that can lead. You can look for an ankle lock there, but that's not going to affect the legs of Paddy Pimblett. He's in deep here, and you've got to think this is where he wants to be, and he's managed to get there. And Juicy J needs to make something work to get out of this position.
Paddy Pimblett very much at home here on his opponent's back.
Only has 30 seconds to work though, so if he wants to make it count, and you know, he said he's going to finish him within the first 2 rounds. If he wants to make that happen and make his prediction come true, he's got 20 seconds to make it happen. Good hip pressure here, but Arosa turns him very well on the back. Lots of little games going on here. There's the fight of the hands to try and control the wrists, and there's the fight of the legs to control the waist. So Paddy's got to keep those legs wrapped up and control that waist. And he's also got to look to attack the neck, control the hands, and Arosa's got to try and alleviate both positions. Loads of little games going on. Great work by both men, and I feel like that was a little bit a good feeling out process for both.
Absolutely not. Round 2 about to get underway. We'd love to hear how you scored that one. Join in the conversation on social media. Tweet us at Cage Warriors with the hashtag CW Unplugged.
And Juicy J can get caught in that rhythm where he just throws the one shot. We just saw a good big left hook. He just throws one kick. You know, he needs to put combinations together to beat Paddy. And if Paddy sees that and starts putting the combos together himself, he can really cause damage. Beautiful straight right lands on the face of Erosa. But these guys are tough, professional fighters. They need to put more damage together to really... he drops Paddy Pimblett there in a wild exchange. Paddy's okay on his back in the guard. But very dangerous there, and the power possessed by Juicy J, putting a little combination together himself, catching him with 2 shots, dropping Paddy, and now in survival mode, using that rubber guard to catch a breath. Look at the flexibility and dexterity of the legs of Paddy Pimblett.
Well, we've seen Paddy Pimblett get clipped and dropped a couple of times before, and almost uniformly, he's then turned it around in the very same round and come back to snatch a victory. I don't think he's ever been caught quite that cleanly before, though. Juicy J just dropping him with, I believe it was a straight right hand. Incredible stuff from the man from the Great North, travelling a long way to go home the Cage Warriors belt.
Great transition there from Erosa. Erosa throwing his elbows from the bottom to try and cut Paddy Pimblett, and he's in the guard of Erosa. This is tough work now for Paddy, stacking him high. He needs to watch the legs of Erosa as they climb up. You know, I feel like Paddy's experimenting a little bit with this stand-up game and wasn't protecting himself in those wild exchanges. He just got dropped. You know, you've got to defense as well as your offense, but you know, you've got to really think about your defense when you're getting into wild exchanges with this guy Erosa.
Well, perhaps the confidence of youth a little bit there from Paddy Pimblett when he's getting into these shootout situations. Got to watch the up kick when he's got Juicy J on the mat like that.
I'll tell you one thing though, the confidence of youth sure does make this exciting, and these two guys going to work, and we're in exactly the same position we were with Chris Fishgold. We're stacking him up against the fence, we're nullifying that guard position, and he manages to get to the back of Erosa, and I imagine we'll see another leg takedown here. Entwines his legs, forces him to the mat. Great work by Paddy Pimblett.
Yeah, big impact on that takedown from the baddie. Pimblett looking for what will be the first defense here of his Cage Warriors featherweight title, and they say, you know, the true measure of a champion is not just winning a belt, it's being able to hold on to that belt, and that is what Paddy Pimblett's looking to do here tonight at Cage Warriors Unplugged.
Great pressure here from Paddy. Look at Erosa. He's allowing Paddy's head to be around there. Although he's in the full guard, it's very tough for a man to stand up when you're in full guard. You need to try and get into the half guard to move your hips or allow the guy to get to side control. If you're in full guard, now we go to the half guard. See how one leg's entwined between two legs. We call that half guard, and it really helps Erosa get to his feet. But he needs to watch that Paddy doesn't skim all the way around to his back as he's trying to attempt to here with the head. Great work by Paddy, and I imagine we'll see another takedown attempt with the legs. And he's looking for one hook. His right hook is all the way in there, and he has the hands wrapped around as well to cause the pressure, and he just jumps to take the back, and he's going to try and pull him backwards.
We've seen Paddy jump before, didn't work for him that time. We've seen jumping, flying triangles from Pimblett. We've seen him jump to the back of opponents before. Juicy J though, able to counter that one. Julian Erosa taking the centre of the cage now, Luke.
And Erosa looks very determined on the feet. Again, only one strike. When he threw a combination, he dropped Paddy. You know, and I feel like if he just believes more in those combinations and throws these hands, beautiful leg kick, that really twisted the knee of Erosa. And I feel like if he just threw more damaging shots in combinations, he could cause a lot of trouble to Paddy, whose hands also now are quite low. Teep returned by a teep.
And again, with that screwing left hand.
And an unintentional eye poke. The referee said, no, I didn't see it, let's keep going. And the action continues. Mark Goddard right on top of this action. Looking for that high left kick as well.
Nice uppercut with the right hand there from Pimblett. And a nice straight right. That might have robbed Julian Erosa. Pimblett steaming in. Erosa firing back with shots of his own. Pimblett needs to be careful here.
Pimblett needs to make sure he doesn't just let himself in for some trouble with those crazy exchanges. You know, he swung everything like throwing a baseball there with that right overhand. He didn't miss, and all of his weight came forward. You know, he just completely overcommitted. And if Erosa was in the right place and just touched him, it would have been a good night for Paddy Pimblett.
Challenging the spirit of Chuck Liddell there with that fastball overhand right. Pimblett now with the back of Julian Erosa looking for a final takedown. Big takedown for Pimblett. Steps into a top position here. No time to play with it. And what a round that was with Bonhams.
And Paddy's walking straight into them with big, powerful shots. He needs to be a little bit more calculated to make it count now. But he's winning all of the wrestling exchanges, all the grappling exchanges for Paddy. So if Paddy can get hold of Erosa, he's always in control and always has that danger of getting to the back and putting the guy to sleep.
Pimblett opening the third round with that nice right leg kick we've seen a couple of times before in this fight. Be interesting to see if that becomes more of a factor as he tries to shut the movement of Erosa down.
Again, only one shot from Erosa. One shot again. You know, if Paddy could just take the one shot and then come back with something. Great tie, control there and blocking and shifting the kick with his hands. You know, if you know some gun's only throwing one shot at you, and he throws one shot and you throw two back, you know, you're getting twice as many points on the judge's scorecard. He ducks under and looks for that double leg again. He's deep in here. I'd be surprised if he can't finish it. Picks him up. Beautiful takedown from Paddy and pulls Erosa all the way away from the fence. Tries to sit over and lace the legs to get to the full mount. Will settle for the half guard. And he actually now is in the full guard of Erosa.
But some of the more veteran MMA fans watching tonight may recognise those shorts as belonging to the legendary Sakuraba, so you've got to believe that Paddy Pimblett is more than happy on the ground here. Let's see if he can maybe fish out a Kimura for old time's sake.
You know, that Sakuraba range from Scramble is becoming famous, and Paddy loves those orange shorts. Wore them in his last fight as well. And I feel like he feels like he's very similar on the ground in a way. If he gets hold of something, he's going to snap it and take it home. Trying to put pressure down now with his shoulder to try and pass that leg. See how his right leg's strapped? He's trying to put pressure on the face of Erosa and then pass with it. And he does exactly that. And Erosa tries to buck out and gives him the full mount position. Great work from Paddy, and this is where he's super dangerous. Erosa using both hands to try and shove him back into the half guard. Great work by both men here, and Erosa manages to get the quarter guard. Erosa just needs to push that knee through and get back to the half to keep himself safe from Paddy on top.
Pimblett perhaps looking to slip behind momentarily there and take the back.
You know, it really is all offense from Paddy when we're on the ground and he's on top, and all defense from Erosa. Erosa's trying to survive, does great work though there from coming from a mounted Paddy Pimblett all the way back to the full guard. Like I said before, very difficult to stand up when you're in the full guard. It's a great position for grappling, but if you're trying to use the fence to stand up, he can just lift your hips off the ground like he is here, and you've got no chance of getting back to your feet.
Because this does go to the judges' scorecard, Luke. The judges will be looking for effective striking and effective.
Watch out for this leg lock attempt maybe from Paddy. Has hold of both ankles, could drop back. Sorry, didn't quite go for that.
As I say, the judge will be looking for effective striking and effective grappling primarily. If the fight takes place mostly on the ground, the effective grappling will play a heavier part in their decision making, and that's exactly what we're seeing here. Pimblett taking a big up kick there for the second time in this fight though.
And again, going to that omoplata, looking for that triangle. Great leg work there, and dexterity from Erosa. Looking again for another omoplata. All sorts of trouble here for Paddy Pimblett. Needs to be careful of the triangle.
Julian Erosa.
And now an armbar.
That was a huge upset here. Pimblett looking to step over and protect that arm, and he does.
Great work from both men there. Some amazing submission attempts. See how he's lacing his arm all the way through and controlling that bicep. That stops Erosa from standing up. It's something you can do when you're, you know, a 5'10", 5'11" featherweight, long and lanky like this guy is. It's a great technique there to stop him from getting back to his feet.
And look, probably worth pointing out, as much as we've heralded the submission grappling prowess of Paddy Pimblett, the one loss he has in his record as a professional was a submission, a technical submission to an anaconda choke a few years ago. He's obviously a completely different fighter now, but the possibility may be weighing on the mind of Julian Erosa.
Definitely, and Erosa has a lot of submission victories, as we mentioned, putting that leg high. Erosa coming at him furiously, and we can see a deep breath from Paddy.
Oh, huge flying knee! Pimblett looks stunned there, and he dives for a takedown.
And he just falls to his back. That was a clean knee from Erosa, and let's see if he can capitalize on it. Paddy is real hurt here on the ground, just holding on, trying to survive. That was a beautiful jumping attack there from Juicy J. Erosa.
And Paddy Pimblett may have just seen his Cage Warriors featherweight title flash before his eyes.
And I mean, now this is when Juicy J needs to be making this count. He can't just lay here and let Paddy hold on to you. Paddy is really hurt. There's 10 seconds left, and he needs to make it count. He needs to cause some damage. We had a real close round. Paddy's been in control for most of it, and now getting dropped with that knee. You don't know how the judges are going to score this round because it's so close.
And you don't know how badly Paddy Pimblett was hurt by that knee, or how it come out.
Badly, I'm telling you, he was hurt badly.
At the BT Sports Studio for Cage Warriors Unplugged. That was the one knee that could change everything.
You know, we need to see how Paddy reacts to this and comes out. And if I was a Rosa, I would be all over him right now. He's still hurt. He's still in trouble. He's barely functioning right now on the feet. And you need to capitalize as Paddy's hurt. His hands are low. You know, if I was in the corner, I'd be screaming to get his hands higher, protect that face and protect that chin and get that breath in the body.
And Rosa looks reinvigorated here, Luke. He knows he's caused some damage. It's got to be his chance to capitalize. And did that incredible knee give Julian Rosa the third round? We'd love to hear your thoughts on that with the hashtag CW Unplugged. Tweet us at Cage Warriors. And a nice left hand there by Julian Rosa.
You know, Paddy's not thrown anything. He's just breathing now. He's just recovering. And Rosa needs to get on him, not let this young kid get back in this fight. I mean, 2 rounds, he's dropped him. And now Paddy's hands are down. He's hardly there. You know, he's not doing anything. Rosa needs to be on him, touching him, causing damage. Not throwing one attack, resting. One attack, resting. He's just allowing Paddy to get back into this fight.
And of course, what you don't want, or what I'm sure Julian Rosa's corner doesn't want, is for this now to turn into a Rosa looking for that one-hitter quitter and nothing else. He needs to put the 2s and 3s together. Again, he catches Paddy Pimblett.
Paddy's in big danger here. He's showing all the signs of a hurt fighter, backing up. When Rosa looks to attack, he's shelling around and moving backwards, and the cage behind him is going to hold him. And if Rosa can put a combination together and catch Paddy, he's going to be in big trouble.
Nice question mark kick there from Juicy J. And you hear the corner of Rosa say he's crumbling on you. Rosa could be about to shock the world here at Cage Warriors Unplugged. He needs to put his foot on the gas. Rosa just looking for that one big shot, it seems, at this point.
Paddy needs to go first. He can't be waiting and just giving Rosa all the time in the world to set something big up. You know, he needs to go first and look to get it to the ground or make a difference in this fight, not just swing wildly. You know, I'm really feeling the danger here for Paddy Pimblett. If he gets caught here, it could be good night.
It looks like Rosa may be waiting for the takedown, ready to throw a counter knee, a counter uppercut. He's skilled with both already in this fight.
Very patient, Rosa, you know, and that will be. He doesn't want to rush him and get taken down by Paddy, you know, but he needs to put the pressure on now. He's given 2.5 minutes for Paddy to recover when he's in serious trouble.
And Luke, you know, Pimblett had a really difficult weight cut in the last 24 hours as well. It'll be interesting to see if that plays a factor the more this fight goes on, and it looks like it might be.
I just feel like it's not the weight cut. I feel like it's that knee has really stunned Paddy, and he's really been a ghost in there for this 4th round. Has not made anything effective happen, and he's just throwing his fight away right now. I mean, he's probably, those 2 rounds where he got dropped, I'd say you give them to Rosa. This 4th round for Rosa. So if he loses this round, he needs a finish in the 5th. You know, and it doesn't look like he's going to finish anyone in this state. But again, Rosa, one punch, one kick. Put a combination together and finish this fight. Why are you punching to the body? Let's go to work with something a bit more convincing and throw. You know, you need to put Paddy to the lions. Paddy's just standing there. We need to go to work.
Rosa just gesturing and gesticulating. But as you say, Luke, that's time that could be well spent throwing combinations, getting Pimblett to drop the hands, countering up top with something big, something flashy like we saw in the 3rd round. But it's just not coming from Rosa at this point.
You're just giving Paddy time to recuperate and look to finish you. That's all you're doing here. You're letting this guy back into this fight. And he's just spent a whole round recovering now, running away, getting his mind together. And he really needs to focus and put some shots together. Paddy's just circling round. Again, one shot. Paddy has really done nothing in this 4th round.
And the conversation on social media right now is pretty much in agreement with us. People just waiting for Julian Erosa to put his foot on the gas here.
You know, and Erosa's in complete control here. Complete control. Hands down, walking forward, and that's the, but put something together. Let's throw 2 or 3 strikes. You know, whatever you say about Paddy, he's taken a huge strike. And now, again that knee, this is better. 10 seconds back away. But you've given Paddy a round, he might come out in the 5th like a complete animal. You don't know what's going to happen. In fighting, when you have the opportunity to finish your man, that's when you do it. You don't wait. And it's everything he needs.
And there's the belt. This is what it's all for. This is what it's all about. The Cage Warriors World Featherweight title. Who will be the next man to follow in the footsteps of the great Conor McGregor? Will it be Paddy Pimblett? Will it be GCJ Erosa? We're about to find out.
And if we have a similar beginning from the round from Paddy, we could imagine the same, but he seems a little bit more alive. And I mean, Erosa's definitely winning this fight for me, and Paddy should be the one steaming forward trying to take this victory, because if he lets this round slip by, he could be losing his title on a decision. And, you know, don't forget, Paddy Pimblett is a natural-born finisher. If he can get hold of something, this fight will be over. He's just got to put himself in a position to make it happen. And Erosa with those nice teeps, those nice push kicks, keeping the distance from Paddy.
Oh, nice combination from Pimblett there. And the crowd comes alive here at the BT Sports Studio. Pimblett pressuring his man up against the cage.
But you can see he just doesn't have the same pressure he had in the first 3 rounds. Like you said, it might be the weight cut. Had to make weight on the 2nd attempt. Had 2 hours to do it and made weight. Very harsh cut. Then he's been dropped twice. Some big shots. And he just doesn't seem to have the same zip in this round that he's had the rest of the fight. And now Erosa, all he needs to really do is stall, stay in charge and be calm and be collected, which he's been doing in the whole fight. So he just needs to keep his style up and not get finished. Has double underhooks here. Very tough position for Paddy to work from.
Yeah, real change of pace from Erosa in this round. Perhaps comfortable in the knowledge that he's possibly ahead on the scorecards here. I'm just looking to act as a spoiler now. Looking to ride that clock down and take the opportunity away from Paddy Pimblett to get back into this fight. 3 minutes.
A little bit more in this round from Paddy. He seems to be a little bit more aware, a little bit more awake. Throwing a lot more shots. Great little teep there to the stomach.
Yeah, some snap on the kicks now from Paddy Pimblett.
But these little kicks to the legs aren't going to finish a fight now. We're in the 5th round. We need to be looking a little bit more direct. Great little teep there to keep Paddy away when he tried a Superman punch. You know, Paddy needs to really just dig deep inside himself and try and go for this victory now. Give it everything like he does early on in the first round. Throw himself at Erosa and hope it works out.
Oh, nice little switch kick there from Pimblett. And again, he's steaming in, but Erosa ready with the counter. Pimblett looking for a takedown here. This could be death or glory for the Baddy.
And you see the difference in the takedown defense from Erosa and the attempt from Paddy. It was a great deep attempt, but then a half-ended finish to it because he just has not got the same zip he had in the early rounds. Great pressure here from Erosa on the head with the hands, forcing it around and great work, and that's going to hurt Paddy there.
Pimblett needs to reset. He's not got a lot of time to pull something out of the bag here. 2 minutes left to play with in our main event here at Cage Warriors Unplugged.
And I mean, we don't know how the judges have got it. They could have the 1st and the 3rd round for Paddy. Although he got caught with that knee, he controlled the whole round. And that would give the 2nd and the 4th to Erosa. And it'd be in this round. You need to win this round. You need to try and finish the fight or get something decisive to take it to the judges. And right now, you know, Paddy's just not giving it everything he's got. Beautiful jab. These kicks from Erosa, there's a great array, great dexterity to the body, to the leg. Could switch up and go to the head. Nice little 1-2. You know, Erosa's looked great tonight. Moves very well, very fluent. The one criticism I have of him is he's not gone in hard enough. But apart from that, he's been beautiful. And coming here with a game plan, maybe to stifle Paddy a little bit, and it's worked perfectly.
Pimblett just a little bit off balance there. Walks back into the cage. Erosa again with an opportunity to put his foot on the gas. Accidental clash of heads between the two featherweights.
Nice left hook there from Paddy.
This is what Paddy Pimblett needs to do now. He's got to look for those crisp punches. Pimblett diving on the single leg for all his worth. Erosa pushing the head down, defending perfectly. Pimblett scrambling for the legs of his man, looking to take the challenger down. He's still got the single here, looking now to switch to a double, joining the hands. Can he get another big takedown? Great balance from Juicy J.
And Juicy J just looks invigorated now with his takedown defense. Where was this in the early rounds? You know, he just seems like he's completely different fighter in these rounds, stopping the takedowns. Manages to get the back now of Paddy, 10 seconds to go. Looks for a takedown. Can't convert it, and Paddy's in on his own.
It's all over. Pimblett with one last takedown after the fact. That one won't count.
Very close. I mean, you know, it depends how the judges have scored this. Fifth round was very, very close. Some great striking from Paddy. I would give a little bit more control to Erosa, but they were just...
Ladies and gentlemen, after 5 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. All 3 judges scored the contest in favour 49-46, 48-47 and 48-47 for the winner. And still, by unanimous decision, Paddy the Baddy Pimblett!
Paddy Pimblett with the judges' decision here at Cage Warriors Unplugged. Riotous scenes here at Cage Side. And we are about to get underway. Touch of gloves, and it's on.
Paddy opening up with a lead leg kick. With wide style and a big overhand right from Savidis, throwing some tight, compact shots, but Pimblett's in on a single early.
They call Savidis the Furious Kid, and he fights furiously. And I don't know how well that comes across to our viewers watching at home, but Pimblett secures the takedown, and the crowd here at the Echo absolutely explodes.
Oh, he's got to watch the elevator sweep. Savidis has done a great job of getting underneath Pimblett. Pimblett's in on a heel hook here. Double outside Ashi for him. Let's see if he can pull this heel through. He's going to have to try and get his butt between himself and Savidis. Can't afford to get stacked here. He's got to pull that leg all the way and roll through.
Pimblett looking for that toe hold. Of course, we saw Savidis submitted by a similar technique when he tried to get the leg tangle on Paul Redman many years ago.
Yeah, Savidis has done a good job of stripping the grip. He's got his base back on top of him. Still stuck in an outside heel hook for Paddy Pimblett.
Pimblett trying to crank the heel of Alexis Savidis. Pimblett rolling through here. Savidis in big trouble.
Paddy Pimblett on an inside heel hook. He's bridging in. What an arch. Let's see if he can maintain control of that knee line. Savidis is trying to roll. Pimblett's got to roll with him. Savidis has got to split the legs.
A dramatic start to this lightweight contest right in front of us here in the commentary position.
Savidis has got a counter leg lock here, but he's just a bit high on the knee. Paddy Pimblett, as long as his knee line is clear, he's okay. You see the Savidis bridging in. It's mostly on the shin. He's got to try and get himself closer to Paddy Pimblett. Don't get me wrong, this is a horrible leg entanglement for both of them. But Savidis rolls out here.
Savidis looking to come out on top and rain down some more strikes, which he does. Pimblett has taken a few punches to the head unanswered there, but again going for that heel is Paddy Pimblett.
Yeah, he's still inside Senkaku. He can still attack this heel and this foot. He's got to compress the toes all the way to the butt. Savidis is doing a great job of getting his other leg involved to force the defense. 50-50 here.
Every seat sold at the Echo, not a single one in use. As the crowd look on with bated breath, the hometown hero, Paddy Pimblett, tangled up with Alexis Savidis here in the early offing.
I know Paddy Pimblett had some training recently with grappling superstar Craig Jones, a proponent of that inside heel hook and those kind of inverted entries. And Paddy Pimblett almost using it to pull off a first round submission here, but he's got a good top position. He's staying very heavy in this head and arm position. This is what he needs to do. He needs to keep Savidis compressed. If he allows Savidis to roll and invert underneath, then that leg Ashi entanglement is going to get very complex indeed.
A brief respite here as Pimblett collects his thoughts. What a dramatic start. We knew it might be wild. We perhaps didn't expect that. Savidis again going for the leg, but Pimblett's going to come out on top here.
Yeah, Savidis is going to try and get his butt away, or he's going to look for Kimura actually here. He's going to have to get up on his knees, invert, again try and keep a frame. There we go. Rolls Pimblett over. Pimblett's going to try and attack an armbar here though. If he can sneak that leg inside, he's going to counter armbar Savidis.
What a chess match. Pimblett and Savidis putting on a show here at the Echo Arena.
Oh, and Savidis has got a good grip here. He's sitting in for the armbar himself. He's got that left knee nice and high. That left knee forcing the bite, the right leg on the neck.
Pimblett in a world of trouble here.
Pimblett's got to get all his weight forward. Here we go, classical defense, stacking forward. He's got to get that left leg up behind the butt. You see that is stopping the Greek from extending.
That completely stoic expression on the face of Pimblett. He's all fun and games during the walkout, but as soon as that cage door closes, the eyes come down, and when you've got a very focused young man in there, dropping big knees into the body of Savidis, who still has his armbar grip, Josh.
This is going to go on quick if the grip breaks. Savidis, though, Pimblett does a great job of getting his head back through. He's going to press forward, push him up against the cage. Savidis is so active in attacking. This is great. Looking to get that elevator hook, that left instep again. Going to use it to subvert the base of Pimblett, get up underneath him. There we go.
You could cut the atmosphere in the Echo Arena with a knife. There's so much emotion. The people of Liverpool are invested with Paddy Pimblett, one of their favourite fighting sons. Final 10 seconds of the round. Pimblett looking for a strong finish here. Savidis still attacking the arm. Pimblett looking for a grip of his own now.
Yeah, he had Kimura options and armbar options as he fell off the top, but what a pace for the first five.
Oh my goodness.
Had some fantastic bites of each other's heels and each other's toes. Really tough one for the judges in that first five.
Round 2 of 3, if they need them, in the Cage Warriors lightweight division. Savidis catches Pimblett with 2 big right hands.
I think Pimblett was lucky there. Savidis was on the very end of his punch. Didn't quite have the full extension to drive it. And there's the flying triangle.
Pimblett with the flying triangle. He's got Savidis locked up. Pimblett switching for the arm here. It's a big squeeze from Paddy the Baddy.
He's got the angle, he's got the extension.
Oh, there's a submission! Paddy the Baddy is back! Unbelievable!
We saw Paddy Pimblett hit that flying triangle, that climbing triangle armbar against Conrad Hayes at Cage Warriors 68, and he's gone and done it again at Cage Warriors 90.
Do you doubt him now? Do you doubt him now? Talk us through the end of this fight. Just well, there's the tap, but it was really the entry and the setup from Pimblett.
Yeah, I suspect when we see it back, he'll pin the wrist. He's cut such a good angle. You see how he's completely perpendicular to Savidis, and then feeling he was losing the compression on the neck, he switches to the arm, full hip extension. Savidis has absolutely no option but to tap.
And while you're seeing the replays at home inside the cage, Paddy Pimblett with a big show of respect to his opponent raises the arm of Alexis Savidis. The crowd here in Liverpool absolutely going wild. 3 5-minute rounds if they need them in the Cage Warriors featherweight division, lightweight division, I beg your pardon. Paddy the Baddy Pimblett, the former featherweight champion, Decky Dalton, making his Cage Warriors debut. They say pressure makes diamonds. Well, about to see if that's true for the Diamond Decky Dalton here tonight against the returning Paddy the Baddy Pimblett.
Well, you know what? Taking this fight on short notice, being a huge underdog, it actually takes the pressure off of you. You know, it's a good position to be. He's not expected to win this. He just fought 2 weeks ago. And that can give you actually a bit of an advantage.
Dalton has absolutely nothing to lose and everything to gain.
Exactly. Going
into this one. He slips on the kick there, and Paddy making no waste of time there to get on him and take the back.
And this is exactly where Paddy wants to be. You know, he's known for his... Okay, this is a horrible position. He has a body triangle locked off and he has an arm trapped. This is pretty much the worst position you could possibly be in grappling. This could be over right now. He just needs to get the angle right. He's going to fight to get that forearm underneath the neck. But what he really needs to focus on is not losing that isolated arm. That trapped arm is absolutely huge. This is a horrible position to be in. So often you see, even in high-level grappling at the moment, people don't even try and get underneath the neck. They're just going to choke you straight through your chin, and that's what we're seeing here. There's a good chance that this could be over within the first minute.
Paddy looking for the big squeeze here. Dalton survives that initial attempt. Body triangle with the arm trapped, an absolutely dreadful spot to be in.
And here's the thing, Paddy's not particularly long, which means that when he locks that body triangle off, it is tight. If you have someone who's super tall, they lock off a body triangle, but there's space. This is an awful position to be in. Paddy knows what an advantage he has here, and he doesn't want to let it go. Oh, he can't tap? Is that what he's saying? That he can't tap? That's a strange thing to be going through your head when you've got Paddy the Baddy on your back, looking to sink in that RNC. I'm sure you'll find a way.
Pimblett looking very composed, very cool and collected.
Yeah, I don't think he was talking about tapping. I think he was looking at his corner and saying that the arm's trapped. But he's absolutely right. Now, if he can get his elbow past the line of the legs here, he's going to be able to pull that out. Now, he's doing a pretty good job of not being submitted so far, but... Okay, so Paddy transitions. When you go belly down on someone, if you have a body triangle, you can't put your hips in. So you see how Paddy's looking to transition back to a two-hook position? From there, he can start to push him with the hips. When you push him with the hips, you can really unload those strikes. So you see how he transitioned right there? He's no longer in the body triangle. He's released the control of that arm to allow him to push his hips in so he can look to unload with the strikes.
This is a bad spot for Decky Dalton. Pimblett letting go with big punches here. Dalton turns to his back. Pimblett firing off shots. Paddy's looking for the finish.
See that? Hips pushed into the ground. You see how he's sprawled out? He's almost hyperextended backwards. And there we go.
The referee has seen enough. Paddy the Baddy is back. It's party time at Cage Warriors.
He is absolutely pumped up. He doesn't need a crowd here to get absolutely hyped. I love it. Yeah, that was an awesome performance. Decky turns to his back, onto his front. That's when Paddy switches to that normal two-hook position you'll see here, and he pushes his hips down. Once you've got that, and you've got that person hyperextended, he can't move, and you're free to smash the guy in the head with both hands.
He's the one-man Ibiza closing party. Paddy Pimblett. He's back with a phenomenal victory in the first round here. So Matt Cage Warriors 113.
Introducing to you, Paddy The Baddy Pimblett. Your referee in charge, and the action begins, Mr. Rich Mitchell.
Referee Rich Mitchell about to get this one underway. 3 5-minute rounds if they need them in the Cage Warriors lightweight division. Davide Martinez in the dark green. Paddy the Baddy Pimblett in the iconic orange Sakuraba style shorts.
Paddy looked like he was trying to burn a hole in his opponent from the corner as well. Never took his eyes off him.
Yeah, that playful expression changes very quickly when Paddy Pimblett steps into the cage. Took an overhand right from Martinez early in this one, but didn't faze him. He's talked a lot this week, Dan, about wanting to show off his striking skills, his knees, his elbows. We could very well be seeing a very different Paddy Pimblett in here tonight.
No, I'm enjoying this relaxed approach to his striking that we're seeing here. He looks very calm. He looks very, very composed in there. And, the striking area is a part of his game that we need to see develop, to see him, be a well-rounded world championship level fighter. And I feel like, he's got the reach and height, and now this condition that he's got as well. I mean, this is by far the best shape that we've seen him in. I think that's going to transfer to confidence to, to mix it up a bit and try some new things.
Oh, nice shots there from Pimblett. Chasing Martinez round, a flying knee from Pimblett. We've seen him use that before. Big takedown from the Baddy.
Immediately transitions to the mount from here. From here, very, very high mount position. Martinez turns up and Paddy gets the back straight away, dropping very nasty shots in here.
And I think lessons were learned in that Soren back fight, chasing that rear naked choke throughout the whole round. He softened off.
And it's over!
Beautiful
Paddy
work.
The Baddy is back!
Wow.
Absolutely flawless performance from Liverpool's own Paddy Pimblett. Nice high kick there.
Love that jumping Nick. Very nice. Very Masvidal, little twitch knee there.
Yeah, and it was Martinez that actually decided to clinch to kind of stop the onslaught of the strikes, and then Pimblett immediately, okay, we're going to clinch, I'm going to throw you straight into mount position. He gives up his back, he takes the back, throws some strikes in, sinks in the choke, but unbelievably good.
And that's the most proven part of his game. He knows he's got that to fall back upon if he needs it. I mean, we didn't see a great deal of his striking, but he just looks so much more calm and confident. And I'll say it again, the condition that he's in, I think is a big part of that confidence.
A huge return for Paddy Pimblett. A huge win. What's next for him? Who knows, but we can't wait to find out.